Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd share with you my fall fragrance collection. I had originally intended to film my fall essentials video today, but due to the fact that I have been bitten by the fall sale bug, I have quite a few things that are on order right now that I am hoping to include in that video. And so I thought I would hold off, and I may even do a fall haul video before I do my fall essentials. So basically the whole month of October is probably going to be fall related content. And instead today, I thought I'd focus on my perfumes, which I had hoped to narrow down to like my top 10, but it is way beyond that. So I would say more than 50% of my perfume collection is actually fall related fragrances, because that those are the scents I really love the most, things that are warm and cozy and inviting. And so I have narrowed it down to I think about 24, and so I've got them all lined up in a row here, and I'm just going to jump right in. But before I get started, I did just want to mention quickly that because of the climate where I live, I don't wear kind of my heavier, more decadent, kind of gourmands and really deep spicy scents until I start getting into the winter season here. So a lot of these are what I think some people would call transitional fall scents or fall fragrances. And for me, these are just what work because they are still warm and cozy, and give me all the fall feels, but still light enough to wear when the weather is still kind of hot and humid. So I'm going to get started with a fragrance that I'm wearing today, and it is one of my favorite fragrances to wear for the fall season here in Florida. This is Byredo's Gypsy Water. And what makes this fragrance so magical is that it has that perfect kind of combination between the juniper, the vanilla, and the woodiness, that it manages to be both cozy and yet light at the same time and fresh. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a stunning fragrance and one that I love reaching for in the fall season here in Florida. Next up, I have two fragrances from Diptyque. They are Tam Dao and Eau Duelle. And I'm showing you these together because I actually like to layer these fragrances. Tam Dao is a sandalwood-based fragrance, whereas Eau Duelle is a kind of green vanilla fragrance, also with a little bit of that juniper note in there. And together, they are just the absolute killer combo for the fall season. They're very kind of cozy and comforting, and at the same time light enough to wear any time of day for any occasion. And I tend to wear these the most when I'm at home and I'm just working from home and I want something light. These are the eau de toilette, so I am thinking about getting one or the other or both in the eau de parfum, which are a little bit deeper and spicier and stronger. They definitely project more, I know, and but they're both just my two, I think, favorite fragrances from Diptyque, and favorite fragrances that I love to wear in the fall. My next favorite fragrance for fall is from Maison Kirkdjian, and this is Gentle Fluidity Gold. And this is another one of those beautiful juniper, vanilla, amber fragrances that is so perfect for the fall season. Very intoxicating when I smell this right now. I probably will wait till the weather cools down just a little here to start wearing this, but as soon as that weather drops, this is one of the first fragrances that comes to mind that I love wearing. It is just a little bit stronger than the three I just talked about, but has sort of the same notes within it, and it is just absolutely stunning, and something I think you can get away with wearing all year long, but I think it really shines the most in the fall. The other fragrance from Maison Kirkdjian that I love to wear in the fall is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540. There's not much to say about this that hasn't been said. This is a beautiful kind of sweet, burned sugar sort of smell that is just intoxicating. You can see I'm down to my last few squirts of this bottle, but I do have a backup of this. This is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, and I like it all year long, but again, I think this really kind of shines in the fall. Next up, I have two fragrances from Commodity. Commodity is a brand that I just discovered this year, and I have been loving all of I got their little sample set, and I have gone through almost everything in there and decided on my first two scents that I wanted to purchase. The first one being Commodity Milk. Now, Commodity Milk is a fragrance that is, again, vanilla, is again woody, but has this little bit of like a marshmallow, I think, note in it that makes it really creamy, really lactonic, really fluffy, and just so, so beautiful for fall. And it's really, really cozy and comforting. It's a little bit strong, and I have it in kind of the, I forget what this is called, but the scent space is called Expressive, which is the middle sort of scent space. So they have sort of a lighter version of this, a more deep version of this, and this one is right in the middle. And I would say that the lasting power and the projection on this is really, really good, and something that I could probably wear, you know, daytime or evening. But for right now, while the weather still remains warm, I'm wearing it only around the house because I love to surround myself with kind of cozy, comforting scents when the fall is here, even if it is not here weather-wise outside. So yeah, that is Commodity Milk, and I absolutely love it. The other fragrance I picked up from Commodity is Commodity Gold, and I also got this one in the Expressive scent. This one is a really beautiful kind of, I would say, vanilla amber fragrance. Definitely deep and sweet and delicious and cozy and perfect for the fall season. But again, a little bit heavy, so I will probably stick to wearing this indoors or when I'm going out in the evenings when it cools down just a bit. But an absolutely gorgeous fragrance for fall. And another beautiful woody sandalwood scent in my collection that I absolutely love to wear in the fall is from Tom Ford. This is Santal Blush. This is my second bottle of this. And I was actually kind of disappointed that I got the newer packaging because I loved the older bottle of this, but this is a beautiful creamy sandalwood that is so cozy and inviting and intoxicating. And this one really does project. Every time I wear it, I get compliments, and there's some oud in this, so it definitely is a little bit heavier than some of the other fragrances I've mentioned, but so beautiful for fall and something that I love to wear daytime, evening, in the house, out of the house, wherever. I just love woodiness for fall, and this one is a beauty. My other Tom Ford fragrance that I had to include on this list is Tom Ford Noir pour Femme. I had recently heard that this was being discontinued, and it was actually hard for me to find a bottle in a smaller size. I believe this one is like a 1.6, 1.7 ounce, something like that. But this is a gorgeous scent that was one of the first scents I ever wore from Tom Ford. I think I started with Black Orchid, and then I got to this. This was probably the second fragrance I got from Tom Ford, and it just brings back so many memories, especially in the fall and into the winter. It's a beautiful kind of spicy yet powdery vanilla that is just intoxicating. I believe that the note that is in here is like a kufi scent, which I believe is an Indian dessert of some sort that is like an ice cream or something, but it's definitely creamy. It's definitely a little bit powdery at the same time, and definitely you get some woodiness and spiciness and vanilla in here, and I just think it's intoxicating for fall. And this is one I do like to wear in the evenings. That is when I wore it way back in the day when I got it the first time, yeah, I will definitely treasure this one, since by the time I go through it, I'm sure it will no longer be in existence. However, I did hear that the Noir not Pour Femme, the Noir Extreme, I think it's called, is kind of a replacement for this and is very, very similar in terms of the notes. So I haven't tried that one, but this one, oh, it just brings back so many memories. I love this fragrance, and definitely a perfect one for fall. Another woody fragrance that I love for the fall season is Coco Noir from Chanel. Now, this is a fragrance that took a little bit of time to grow on me. I'm not going to lie. All of the Coco fragrances and Coco Mademoiselle have taken a while to kind of grow on me. This one, I would say, is a woody floral that is a little bit deeper than a lot of the Chanel fragrances. Not so deep like a Tom Ford fragrance. It still smells very Chanel-esque and very sort of polished and put together. This is one that when I was working in an office, I think this would have been a really nice one for days when I just wanted to feel like the most professional version of myself. Yeah, it's sort of like a power fragrance. I would describe it that way. But it's also one that I love to wear going out in the evenings when I'm maybe going on, you know, a dinner with my husband and some of his like work associates or something like that. It's, you know, a great fragrance for those kinds of things or any kind of really special occasion. I do remember wearing this to an office Christmas party and it was perfect for that occasion. And it's just lovely. There's just something about Chanel fragrances that are just a little bit elevated. They make you feel very sort of sophisticated and put together. And this one is no different. It's just a little bit deeper, a little bit woodier, and I absolutely now love it for fall. My other favorite fragrance for fall from Chanel, you knew was coming. This is Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere. This is my favorite version of Chanel No. 5, and it is one that always makes me think of fall because it just has that little bit of amped up vanilla in here. And there's like a creaminess about this one that makes it super cozy, and it's just delightful. So this is one that I usually reserve for kind of special occasions, but I definitely think I'm going to be wearing it more because it's a shame to like let it go to waste or go bad. So I definitely am going to be wearing this a lot more in the fall. And I do like to combine this fragrance with the next one on my list from Kayali. This is Vanilla 28. And this is a great layering vanilla that I love to kind of top off some of my fragrances that have a vanilla note in them, but maybe it's not quite as prominent. Using the Vanilla 28 on top of pretty much any fragrance that has vanilla in it is going to really bring out that vanilla. And this is also one that I love to wear just on its own because it's just a really beautiful, somehow I don't even know how to describe it. It's gourmand, but yet it's still light at the same time. It's a light, clean vanilla with a little bit of kind of brown sugar in there, and there's some deepness to it, but yet it still manages to be something I can wear on its own throughout pretty much any season, and I just absolutely love it. My favorite fragrance from Kayali. And the other Kayali fragrance that I love to layer with Vanilla 28 in the fall season is Deja Vu White Flower. Now, these two are a match made in heaven. White flower, Deja Vu White Flower is, as the name would imply, a white floral. However, it is much deeper than that. There are definitely some woods in this fragrance that really make it very cozy and warm and inviting. And I think paired with the vanilla to kind of sweeten it up a bit, this is just a match made in heaven and just perfect for the fall season. Next fragrance I want to talk about is from Jean Paul Gaultier. This is La Belle, and I have it not only in the original Eau de Parfum, but I also have, I believe this is called Les Parfums, but the two of them are absolutely gorgeous. I think this one is a beautiful vanilla pear scent, perfect for the fall season here. However, as the weather does cool down, I do like to bring this one out, which has an even more sweetness, gourmand, vanilla deliciousness. They're both beautiful. This one I reserve more for the evenings, and this one I wear pretty much any time, and I've already started wearing it for the fall season. She's absolutely gorgeous and just beautiful fragrances. The next fragrance I have in my fall collection is from Guerlain. This is Mon Guerlain, and I know a lot of people are familiar with this fragrance. I actually just got this year. I was not familiar with the fragrance, and I don't know what took me so long, but I'm very happy now that I have it in my collection. This is a beautiful kind of vanilla lavender scent that there is just a nice warmth about it, and it is perfect for pretty much any occasion, any season, but I love to wear it most in the fall, mostly going out in the evenings, and I think it's absolutely just a glorious fragrance for fall. And another vanilla lavender scent that I am obsessed with now is from YSL. This is Libre, and this is actually the Les Parfums version that was just recently released. I just got my hands on this and I am obsessed. I think I like this even more than Mon Guerlain. This is a beautiful vanilla lavender fragrance, but with this one they've added some spices, so I definitely am sensing some cardamom in here, and I want to say it's like saffron that I saw listed. I don't really pick that up, but there are definitely some spices in this, and it is a really warm vanilla, amped up vanilla version, I would say, of YSL Libre. And I have this actually in the original, I have the Eau de Toilette, I have the intense version, and now I have this one. So I love all four of them, but right now this one is definitely my favorite for fall that I'm really excited to start wearing. It's just sweet and warm and delicious, beautiful scent. Next up, I have a couple of fragrances from Christian Dior. The first one is Femme Delicieuse. And this is a fragrance that I've heard so many people in the fragrance community rave about, and I had never smelled it. So I managed to get my hands on a sample and absolutely fell in love with it. And it was last year around the holiday season that I started wearing it, and it now will forever make me think of the holidays. But what I love about this scent, even though it's really hard to describe, this is a little bit spicy, a little bit woody, a little bit floral. But what's really beautiful about it is, to me, it's like holidays and fall kind of in a bottle. That's just what it smells like to me, and it's just really warm, really comforting. It's not really boozy. I will say I have a few of the Christian Dior Privé line fragrances that have a little bit more amped up booziness to them, and almost none of the fragrances I'm talking about today really have that really amped up boozy note. That is the one thing that kind of prevents me from wearing it here where I live in the fall, because I just do better with that in cooler weather. So for me, that'll be the winter time. But here, this is just like a perfect fall fragrance. And I love the powderiness of this. There's something in a lot of the Privé line from Christian Dior that is very powdery and soft. And I just think it's so amazing. So yeah, love this fragrance for fall. And my other fragrance on my list from Dior is Poison Girl, and this is the Eau de Parfum version. I did have the Eau de Toilette, but I ended up selling that and getting this one on Poshmark. Someone who had barely used it sold it to me, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is a beautiful vanilla scent, definitely a vanilla floral that is kind of just perfect for the fall season. There's a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of kind of a deeper, cozy, warmer feel to this, and I just absolutely love this fragrance for the fall. Another beautiful sweet vanilla scent for the fall is Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. This is a beautiful vanillic pear scent that has quite a bit of patchouli in it. This is one I reserve more for the evenings when I wear it, but it still has like that powdery kind of cozy quality that just makes it kind of perfect for fall, and I absolutely love this fragrance. Another beautiful kind of sweet fragrance in my collection for fall is from Dolce & Gabbana. This is the only one, and I picked this up last year in the fall, and I absolutely now associate it with the fall. It is a beautiful kind of blend of coffee and a little bit of toffee, I believe, as well. Something that gives it like this caramelly sweetness that is absolutely divine for fall, and definitely one that I hope to get a lot more use out of this fall season. My next fragrance is probably the only true gourmand on this list, which is from Bond Number 9. This is Tribecca. And this is a fragrance that to me is, oh my God, as soon as I smell it, I just die. It is a toffee, sort of caramelly, scent that has some ambroxan in there. A lot of people actually do compare this to Baccarat Rouge 540. I think that's really the ambroxan in there that gives it like this airy, really sweet, almost like cotton candy sort of vibe. But it's just warm and delicious, and yet somehow remains light enough to wear even when it is quite warm here where I live, because there's really no booziness about this fragrance. It's just a nice, beautiful, warm, nutty, gourmand scent that I absolutely love for the fall season. I'm down to my last three fragrances, the first of which is from Jo Malone. This is Myrrh and Tonka, and I cannot believe it took me so long to get this fragrance into my collection. This is such a beautiful Tonka scent that has, you know, a very vanillic smell to it. It's a little bit powdery. It's got that myrrh, so it's just like incense and vanilla and sweet, and at the same time woody, and it's just absolutely beautiful and perfect. And somehow it manages to stay very light, as all Jo Malone scents do, which is one of the reasons I love reaching for some of their more kind of deep, woodier scents in the fall time, because here where I live, I can wear them anytime. This one is one of my favorites from Jo Malone. And another fragrance in my fall collection that features the note of incense is from Parfums de Marly. This is Athalia. And this is a beautiful, powdery, iris forward scent. I've heard a lot of people say that they think this smells more like the orange blossom. I definitely get some orange blossom, but I think the iris to me is so prominent in here, so it's amazing how different people react differently to fragrances. But yeah, I definitely pick up the iris more in here. It's powdery, it's got a little sweetness from some vanilla, it's got that little bit of incense that, you know, really kind of deepens it. And I think it's just a perfect, beautiful, cozy scent for fall. And I started this list with a fragrance that was one of my favorites for the fall season here where I live, and I'm going to end it with another. This is from Narciso Rodriguez. This is Narciso Poudre. And I could have chosen any of my Narciso fragrances, quite frankly, for this video, because I feel like they're all very musky and very woody, and there's something in there that just, for me, screams fall. But this one in particular, because of that little bit of vanilla, that little bit of patchouli, that little bit of sweetness that this gives, in addition to kind of the powdery musk, I think it is just so soft and warm and cozy and comforting and all the things I want in a fall fragrance. So yeah, Narciso Poudre is the last fragrance I have on my list. So those are all of the fragrances I have in my collection that I am really looking forward to wearing this fall season. I would love to know if there's anything that you have on your list that maybe I need to add to mine. Please leave it in the comments below. I always love getting feedback from all of you, and I would say at least half of these fragrances I've purchased pretty much because I've watched videos like this, because I'm a perfume junkie, and I think I'm going to actually do a whole month of perfumes in November since I don't have a lot of other content planned. There's a lot of perfume tags going around that I'm thinking about doing, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you have, again, any suggestions for me, let me know. I'd love to know what some of your favorite fragrances are for fall, and I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you all soon in my next video. Bye.